Well, hello, Indianapolis Motor Speedway fans. Doug Bowles here with you for another episode of Behind the Bricks, and this one's sort of been a year in the making. Last year, when we put this logo on the JW Marriott in downtown Indianapolis, I got to go to the roof and see everything that goes behind putting these decals up. I'm standing here today with Michael Kaltenmark, who leads marketing here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for two reasons. His team, start to finish, is responsible for that, and secondly, I think you all know I got a new job recently, in addition to my current one. And that's going to mean I'm going to spend less time in Behind the Bricks, and Michael's going to keep it going. So we're bringing Michael in here. Michael, you started this with the team, creating the graphics, and then you actually got to go to Sports Graphics and see how this is done.
Yeah, it's really neat. I mean, the few years we've been doing it, we turn in a nice design, send it to Sports Graphics, and say, put it on the wall, right? And now we got to figure out how that actually happens. And there's a lot that goes into it. It's more than just slapping a sticker on some glass.
Yeah, absolutely. So Michael's going to take you to see that, and then I'm going to see you guys in a minute on the roof on the top of the JW in Indianapolis.
So here we are at Sport Graphics on the east side of Indianapolis, and I'm here with owner Frank Hancock, who's here to tell us a little bit about the facility. I mean, you do a little bit more than just the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. This is quite an operation. Tell us about what goes on here, Frank.
Well, we make graphics, signage, banners, large-scale graphics that go on buildings like the JW. We do it for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and other clients like the Pacers, the Colts, the NCAA. Just got done with the men's and women's Final Four, so it's a good time of year to be busy.
Always busy. You're always busy. Well, let's talk about another busy time in Indiana, May, and you do all of our decor, all of our track signage, and probably the most notable piece is on the JW Marriott. How does that take place? How does all that come together? It's such a large piece on a large building, I can't even imagine.
Well, I don't like to say I like to dumb it down, but it's like you're putting wallpaper up in your house, but it's a big wall.
Yes.
It's a big wall. It's a lot of rolls of wallpaper.
So Frank, you mentioned wallpaper. And if I were to take wallpaper and put that over a window at home, first, my wife wouldn't be very happy, but two, we wouldn't be able to see out. How does this work? You're putting wallpaper on a giant glass building. How can folks staying inside still get a view of Indianapolis?
Well, I mean, I've got a little example that I'd use. This is just a piece of plexiglass, and what you can see, it's tinted, and you can see right through it. There's no issue. Then we put this adhesive on. I call it the wallpaper, and then it's magic.
Bingo.
And you
got a graphic.
You can see through that too.
So that's effectively what we're doing here, a perfed vinyl that goes on the JW Marriott. What's the scope and scale of all that?
Well, yours this year is about 20,000 square feet of material, both on the front and on the end cap. The one we did for the 100th anniversary running, altogether it was 2.5 miles of graphics. We kind of worked the artwork, yeah.
Well done, I see what you did there. Yeah, so 20,000 square feet of vinyl that goes on that building.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about the application process. We're printing it now, and then it goes on a building. So how does it get printed, and then who are the guys that get to put it up?
Well, behind you can see we're printing it right here on this large graphics printer. That's adhesive. The rolls are approximately 50 inches wide, and up to maybe 1,000 feet in length.
Okay.
You get up on the side of the building. Of course, you're 31 stories off the ground.
No big deal.
But you really start up and you unpeel it and roll it down and smooth it on the window. And you do that, depending on the size of the graphics, 300, 400, 500, 600 different times, rolls.
How many rolls are we talking?
I think yours is a small one this year. It's only like 400 rolls.
Only 400 rolls.
Well, it's not small.
I see they're numbered, so I assume we just follow sequence, one after the other.
It's key. Number 2 follows number 1, 3 follows number 2.
And then how long does that process take, 400 rolls to get on the side of the building?
Well, we're going to start installing yours, I believe, Monday, and it'll be done probably 3 days.
3 days.
We just finished putting Taylor Swift, who was here this summer.
I remember
She was 31 stories tall and took us like 4 days to put her up.
Not bad.
No.
Not bad. So let's talk a little bit about our design this year. Pretty simple. What people are used to seeing with the simple logo there on the east side of the building, and then on the spine.
On the spine, it's going to say "This is May" with the Fox logo and the pier as such.
So
come down.
Looks simple from the street, but again, 20,000 square feet, 400 rolls, a 3-day application. It's just remarkable what you all do. And that's not all. We got a little something special on the backside and the other spine this year. A partner and Mountain Dew is going to join us on the side of the building. Tell us a little bit about that installation and the size and scope of that.
Well, it's going to be a large replica of a Mountain Dew bottle, and it's going to be the end cap. But we've never been on the west side of the
Is that right?
Of the hotel, and that's so visible coming in from the west on the interstate. I mean, I remember the first time that we did this. I was flying in from the East Coast just before dusk, and it's like a thumb sticking up in the sky downtown. The one thing about the JW Marriott, it's really a perfect building for this application. The first one we did was the Super Bowl, and the next year when we did the Super Bowl in St. Louis, the same graphic was used on a building down there, and you didn't notice it. I mean, the
Really?
JW Marriott here is by itself, it's concave. It's kind of interesting too, because the JW Marriott was put together by the White family. If you go back in history of their family, he was big on billboards back in the early 50s for Holiday Inn across the country.
Is that
so
right?
this is the biggest billboard he's got.
Wow.
But
Well,
it's pretty neat.
you all really bring it to life, just like you do the Speedway, the airport, and all the decor and signage you do for us. It's quite remarkable what your team does and how you make our city shine during the month of May. So really appreciate all that you
Well, appreciate it. No, I'm a big race fan. Haven't missed a race since 1964. We take a lot of pride. I mean, there's a lot of things in Indianapolis now, but there was always Indianapolis 500. And it's getting more and more special every year. And look forward to going to another race and many more after this.
do. I love it. That's race fan Frank Hancock, owner of Sport Graphics. We're going to join Doug Bowles at the top of the JW Marriott now. I'm going to leave that work to him.
So now we know how those graphics are created that are going to go on the JW. We've got Jim here, who's the Vice President of Install for Sports Graphics. He's done this for decades, honestly, and this is one of the things that you do really well. But you're going to take Michael and I to the roof. We're going to start from the top. This is kind of an interesting way to get to the top.
It is, yeah, it's all interesting.
Got to remember to watch my head because, right, see, I hit it right there. All right, so we're on the roof of the JW now. I don't know, 40 floors up or something crazy. And right over the side, you can see Indianapolis. But right behind us, this is some of the tooling that Sports Graphics actually has designed to allow this to take place. Let us know what the process is once you get up here and what's happening here.
Yeah, basically these are custom built davit arms that we had made for this building. So basically you have a stage going up inside the building. So there's a motor on each end of the stage, and if you notice there's a cable on each one of these I-beams. So the stage actually climbs that cable. There's no reel that rolls it
Right.
up. The stage just climbs it on each end.
So that cable stays below it. It's just rolling
Cable
up.
stays below it, so you have to enter from the ground. So we land, load the guys up, load all the material.
I've done that before.
And you have, yes, many, many times. Is kind of an expert now.
So you call it a stage, but it's for those of us that are laymen, it's really like what you go, that's what a window washer would use.
Exactly, same rig. They technically call it a swing stage. It's only 2 foot deep, and it's about 30 foot long. So you have to do a lot of calculations to make sure your weight load that you put in that stage doesn't exceed the rigging that you have up here. So numbers you have to run to make sure everything's safe and everyone's safe. Everyone in the stage has their own separate lifeline. So the cables hold the stage, but you see these ropes here?
Yes.
These are attached to the installers. So you got 2 installers and a driver. So everyone has their own lifeline. Something happens, that cable breaks, the rope grabs them and holds them there. So we can rappel down and rescue them and take them down to the ground.
Which sounds great, unless it's happening to you.
Yes, yes.
So this is a whole process. That's why we thought you'd be interested in seeing it. It's not just putting stickers on the side of a building, and these can actually be moved to other platforms that you have in order, and you hook them in. That way you can move the stage down the side of the building.
Yeah, absolutely. We do what we call a drop. So we'll go top all the way to bottom, lay all the graphics you can fit in that area. Then you got to come up here and move all this rigging over to what we call the next davit point.
Right.
You move that davit arm to that, re-rig your rigging, and do another complete drop. You can't move left or right. It's only up or down. So when you're done, everything has to move, the rigging and all, to your next drop.
So there you have it. Jim is an expert. He doesn't just do this in Indianapolis, but does it all over the country, all over the world, to make sure when you go to special events and you see the decals, probably Jim and his team of Sports Graphics.
So you got a nice look at what Sport Graphics does for us downtown. Of course, they do so much for us here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway as well. As you can see behind me, the Gate 2 banner, the back of grandstand banners, you may see the seat kills. We really appreciate the work that Sport Graphics does for us, and hopefully you do as well. Thanks for joining me on what is my debut episode of Behind the Bricks, and we look forward to seeing you back here again soon.